with us today are a couple of veteran actors. Well, veteran maybe makes you think they're older than they really are. They're pretty young, but they came up through the ranks. Next to me is Paige Clark. Next to her is Lucy Renke. And Lucy, why don't you start and talk about your years here with Shakespeare Royal Oak?
I did like the quick calculation this morning, and I believe it's our 12th or 13th year in the park. Probably because we've been here since we were 6 years old at the start of the KidsAct program.
Great.
And then we went all the way through the KidsAct program before becoming interns at the KidsAct program when we were in high school. And now we're official instructors at the KidsAct program.
That's something. now you're teaching them that taught you, more or less. So are you, do you find the difference between being in the program? Well, this is for you, Paige. The difference between actually being in the program and now instructing it, how is that transition?
It's definitely interesting because I'm seeing aspects of the program I really never considered when I was actually a camper here. Because when you're a camper, it's kind of all just done for you and you just get to follow everyone. But as an instructor, we now kind of get a say in what we teach, how it's taught, which is really, really cool. It's a new experience. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, but I'm really excited about the opportunity.
Has it changed over the years, Lucy, from back then to now?
I think we've done a very good job at keeping the basic structure the same. Some years, it depends on who the head of education is that year, where they will try something new and different. But generally, we keep the same structure to make sure that the education is actually working well. And we're really passionate about making sure that it stays at the very least similar to how it was, because we know that it ran really smoothly, at least from our perspective, when we were that age, and we want to make sure that it stays like that now, because it's a structure that works really well and keeps the kids engaged.
Great. So what makes it really special for the families that come here to see the shows?
Well, the kids are getting to experience this entire week where they're just really enveloped in the arts, which is not something that all education programs have nowadays. I think that they get to learn so many different aspects: improv, dance, combat, Shakespeare. They get to just learn so many different aspects of acting and theater, and it's really cool for parents to be able to come and see that, because not a lot of camps offer that sort of thing nowadays anymore, that I know of, at least in the same way that we do it.
Yeah, and when they come to see the programs, there's really no charge, is there? It's just a free will offering kind of thing, and I understand that works pretty well.
Yeah, it's a fully donation-based thing for both the Teen Ensemble programs and the KidsAct program.
Okay, so what goes on behind the scenes preparing for these shows that the audience doesn't see?
So there's a lot of organization in terms of the KidsAct show, where we do a lot in the moment to decide how it's going to be presented to people based on what the kids are enjoying and what they really like. So if we have a group that just loves improv so much, we try to make sure that they get to do improv in their show for KidsAct. And if there's a group that's like, hey, we actually want to do a longer Shakespeare scene and we want to do we want it to be full out, we allow them to decide what they really like to do, and we respond to that in order to make sure that the kids get the best experience possible. I think what's so impressive about Teen Ensemble is that it only happens in 2 weeks, and one of those weeks is only half of the day. So the ability for these teenagers to come in over the course of 2 weeks and rehearse and perform a full production in that time is so impressive, and I love it.
I can see. That's great. What about, with theater, you get to meet people you never met before, and you spend 2 weeks, you're like a family. So, right. So do you stay in touch and keep those friendships thriving over time, or do you see each other the next year and keep up where you left off, kind of thing?
I think that it kind of depends. With certain people I've definitely kept up with more than others, but there are certain people, such as 2 other interns in the Teen Ensemble program, Ruby and BB, who have been doing this for a few years. BB has been doing it since very, very young, around the same time that we started, 6 years old as well. And then Ruby started in our senior year, so I've gotten to get closer with them as we've kind of grown to join the administrative side of the camp rather than just the camper side. It's kind of this bond that's forged that grows as we grow in the program, which is really special.
How about funny things that might have happened? Memories of maybe some silly bloopers that might have happened on stage? Anything you remember?
Well, there's a few jokes. I remember specifically from Macbeth when we
Oh
did
my
this
goodness.
show.
That show had a lot of inside jokes.
For such a serious show.
For such-
sure, that's
I think the more serious the show, the more you try to make fun of it a little
Absolutely.
bit, especially in the park where there's so many shenanigans that happen.
That's right.
Or when a dog runs into your rehearsal and you just are like, well, no more rehearsing. There's a dog. There's
a
more
dog.
important things to deal with right now.
Yeah,
And,
we
and
found a
stuff like
random
that.
cat last year and found the cat's owner within like the span of 10 minutes, just in the
Wow.
middle of an intern meeting.
Cat.
Yeah.
Like before rehearsal began, there was a cat, and then some lady came by and said, "Have you seen my cat?" And we were like, "Yeah." It was crazy.
We're helping the community.
Okay, not part of the program. All right. Well, thank you both for this information today, and hopefully everyone will come and see KidsAct this summer. Shakespeare Royal Oak. It'll happen right here behind me, behind all of us, as the stage goes up and the lights go on.